This story begins with the underwater world, before it climbs up to the tip of a volcanic island. The island of Salina is part of the Aeolian archipelago, which lies just north from Sicily. We made the short crossing from Lipari to Salina under engine. I went down below to do some video editing while Aladino kept watch. Yeah, often when we're motoring, I go inside and I work on the computer because it's a good time. We've got all the power we need. I don't have to worry about power consumption at all. It has gotten a lot better now that we have the solar panel, but still when the fridge is on, we got to balance things a bit. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now, working on editing videos. Aladino's steering the boat. It was about midday, and the sunlight beat down mercilessly, casting everything in a harsh light, but even still, the majesty of Salina's sharp volcanic shape is unmistakable. We approached along the cliffside before throwing down the anchor in one of the few places shallow enough to do so. But limited anchoring spots combined with summer break in the Mediterranean meant we certainly were not alone. Despite the heat and the crowds, the land looked incredible. A few tiny dwellings blended with the cliffs, a natural archway framed the sky, and everything was backed by the incredible volcanic peak of Salina itself. We decided to take the dinghy for a snorkel trip along the coast to see some more. Alright, are you ready to go, my love? Look at this place, it's so cool. Before leaving, Aladino quickly dove down to check our anchor. The bottom here is really rocky, not the best for anchoring. How does the anchor look?
Well, it's not dug in, but that's how all the anchors are around here. There's just tiny patches of sand and a rock underneath again.
Yeah, it's pretty rocky. We motored towards this natural archway and anchored the dinghy. Anchor down?
Anchor down.
We weren't even in the water for a minute when Aladino found something.
I saw a rope lying on the bottom, twisting around a few rocks. When I went down to investigate, I realized there was an anchor attached to the end. I thought, bingo, that's my kind of shopping. It wasn't too deep, but it was actually quite stuck. The anchor was trapped between two rocks with only enough space for the rope to be pulled out. In order to free it, I had to slide the anchor out, which took a few tries. After gurgling a few curses, I finally got it out, and we got a spare dinghy anchor.
Awesome! Fantastic!
Wow.
That's so cool! What are we gonna do with it though? We already have an anchor. Is it the same size as our old one?
I think it's exactly the shape.
Yeah?
Yep.
Huh, crazy. We can give it to whatever cruiser we meet next that needs one. So you won't believe it, but I just spotted another anchor. This one's been there for a lot longer. I guess this isn't the greatest place to keep your anchor. The second anchor wasn't really worth retrieving, so we continued swimming. I practiced my breath holds and enjoyed watching the underwater scenery roll by beneath me. After a while, I decided to climb out of the water to have a look at the cliffs. I've just climbed out onto the cliff and I'm gonna go onto a little land expedition while Aladino keeps spearfishing. I don't know much about geology, but these cliffs sure look like they have a few stories to tell. Sun's about to go down, but I think that we'll go back to the boat now. I might rinse my hair off a little bit. Well, rinse in salt water again, but shampoo does actually do wonders, so freshen up a little bit, and then dinner probably. Home! Yeah. following morning started early, at 5 a.m. Everything is so calm and peaceful. Aladino and I had a plan. We wanted to walk to the top of Salina's volcanic peak. I love the morning so much. I'm so happy that I woke up. It is so worth it. The air feels so nice, and it's honestly just amazing to be awake and not have that strength of the sun bearing down on you. But our first challenge was figuring out where to leave the dinghy. So over there is that adorable kind of village that's just built into the rocks. But I don't think we're going to leave the dinghy there, because I think by the time we come back in the morning, it's going to be swimming with people again like it was yesterday. So I think we're going to leave the dinghy on this beach, and there seems to be a stairway. Hopefully we'll be able to use it. We landed on the beach, but shortly afterwards we discovered our first big obstacle. What we had thought was a staircase wasn't at all. So we had to figure out another way to get up the cliff. I do not think we can climb up this. Once again, thwarted by climbing. Are you thinking of using that pallet to get up? That's actually a brilliant idea. It's more or less like a ladder. Here, I'll put the camera down and help. 1 sec. Wow, I really did not think we would achieve that, but check it out. We got the pallet, and it was so stuck in those rocks. I really did not think it was going to move, but with a bit of strategy and a bit of force, we now got it. So now we got to carry it over. It's really heavy actually, so we got to carry it over, and hopefully it's high enough that it'll be enough of a boost to get us up that cliff. The pallet was so heavy and waterlogged that we figured floating it over would be better than carrying it. Alright, we got it there, we lifted it over, and now Aladino's putting together a bit more of a base to make sure it doesn't slip away, and hopefully it'll be enough to get up. Easy! Alright, my turn. And from then on, it was an easy walk up. The only problem was that I had woken Aladino up at 5 in the morning, and he hadn't had any coffee yet. As we walked through the tiny town of Pollara, we didn't expect that anything would be open, but we did see a man doing some maintenance on an adorable little outdoor cafe. We found a little restaurant. It's not quite open, but there was a man here. There's a man here who's making us a coffee, which Aladino is very pleased about. As am I. It's very nice. It's the first time Dini has smiled all morning. And then, following directions from the kind cafe owner, we began hiking up, up, up. At least we know we're the first people to go up here, because I really have been getting... Woo! Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Oh! Oh, I don't like that at all.
I hope that's on camera.
Oh god.
The spider. Oh, there it is. Maya and the giant spider.
We kept hiking, and with every step our view got a little better. There's still mist in the air, and you can see Stromboli with its smoke coming out of it. That's the active volcano of the Aeolians. Blazing.
Look at all the mist in the air.
And behind us is some sort of a tower. Should we go look at it?
Yes.
We weren't completely sure where the trail to the top was, but when we walked past this old tower surrounded by chain link, we spotted our route. Oh, I think I see the trail up the ridge. You see it? So we've passed the tower, surrounded by a chain link fence. There's plenty of holes in the chain link where people have obviously gotten through, but we don't need to. Now, we want to head up there. The fact that we are in Italy soon made itself apparent when we came across a picturesque vineyard on the foot of the volcano. How lovely it would be to tend to these grapes with such a view stretching out in all directions. The path up was extremely well made and also quite steep. The fact that we hadn't worked out very consistently definitely made itself apparent as we huffed and puffed and sweated our way up the trail. I am absolutely puffed.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting old or if this was a super hike.
I don't think we're getting old, I just think we're getting not fit. Boat life is awesome, but snorkeling around a bit isn't exactly cardiovascular.
I think it's a super climb.
It is also.
Coming up here with just one single coffee and no sugars.
I have sugars in my bag.
Almost impossible.
When we get to the top.
But look at this. We're not at the top yet, but already we can see the other side. Cutesy poopsy little village on the ridge of the valley. Of course, there is a church, and there is Panarea, Stromboli. But more from the top. Let's go.
We kept climbing and climbing, and the sun kept getting hotter and hotter, and we kept sweating more and more. By the time we reached the top, we were ready for some water, a snack, and some shade.
Snack.
You happy? Mm-hmm. Got some sugar in ya? Mm-hmm. This jam is actually delicious. Frutti di Bosco wild berry jam. And, fully recharged, we decided to go even a little bit higher to really take in the whole scene. Seen from the air, Salina is even more dramatic. The ridges in the mountain fall like the folds of thick fabric. The roads and trails wind around the landscape. The valleys slope down towards the incredibly blue Mediterranean Sea, dotted with vineyards and churches and homes. We watched on our phone screen as the drone flew over the trail we had just climbed up, its outline apparent against the lush greenery surrounding it. What a place. Here we are on top of the mountain. We just flew the drone. Well, Deanie just flew the drone, and now we're gonna go down. And there's two ways to get down. Either we go the way we came, or we go down a little trail here, which goes down to this really adorable valley that looks like it has a bunch of vineyards and an old church in it. That means that we'll have to kind of take the road around back to where the boat is, but that's okay. I think we're gonna take that option because it looks kind of cool. So there's the valley with the church that we're gonna walk down to. And then I think we'll walk down to this town by the water. And then Rinella, and then we have to take a road around there because the boat is over in that direction behind us. By now it was about 10 a.m. and we were absolutely roasting under the sun. Good thing we brought 2 water bottles and lots of sunscreen, but even still, the idea of a cold drink upon arriving at the town was pretty exciting. Soon the dry trail passed through some lovely green vineyards. Oh, a little bench. We paused for a moment in the shade and then continued on down small roads, past old houses, straight to the first large bottle of cold water we could find. And then, time to go home. We are now on a bus, going back to the boat. Yeah, I have blisters on my feet and it's very hot, so we're taking the easy way out today.
But it was great.
It was such a good adventure.
I'm still curious about the elevation.
Yeah, we have to look it up, how high we actually went. be honest, the bus ride was probably the most stress-inducing part of the day, as the driver whizzed around corners at speeds which really didn't seem to match up with the size of the road. But we got home safely. We are home! We've been home for a little while actually, but when we got here I didn't pull the camera out. We've just been relaxing, reading, eating, catching up on hydration. All of those things.
So much.
Yeah, we drank an incredible amount when we got back, which is amazing because we drank like 2 liters of water when we were out, plus before we even left on the hike I drank at least 1 liter. But it was just so hot today that we needed so much water. And then we are going out snorkeling now, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna do any hardcore snorkeling. I might just sit in the dinghy and read actually, but Aladino is
not doing any hardcore snorkeling either.
Okay, Aladino is also not doing hardcore snorkeling.
But not because he doesn't want to, because he can't.
Why can't you?
I cannot.
What do you mean?
Snorkeling, I can go mediocre snorkeling, but all day, that is hardcore.
I don't know what he's saying.
Still get dehydrated and sunburned, if that is hardcore. But it doesn't change the snorkel itself.
Okay.
Let's go!
Oh my goodness. Alright, let's go. I opted to not go snorkeling in the end, but Aladino went, and he came home with something quite interesting. Hey Deanie, welcome back. What did you get?
Some amore!
Oh my goodness. Okay.
They are scary, but they
That
are
is
delicious.
terrifying looking.
Yeah, I know. But they are delicious. And it's a good one.
Horrific.
Huh?
Are they good? Have you eaten them before?
Yeah, I have. They're delicious.
Really?
But they are terrifying. But this is a
Okay.
good size. So I figured I'd take her.
How did you catch her?
With the spear. Right here.
Really? Oh wow. Did she put up a big fight?
Not at all.
Oh really?
It's just that, I mean, it was a headshot, so she should be dead.
I don't like this at all. Oh my goodness.
Is that on camera?
Yes.
Yeah, look at it.
I don't want to look at it.
It's not like the gross morays that have rusty and all wrinkly teeth. This is the nicest sets of teeth I've ever seen in a moray.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
You take some close-ups of it with the camera. I don't want to look at it.
But they are, I know, they don't look very sexy. It's just, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I will.
thanks for bringing home dinner.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Morays are good, and especially about the size. They're smaller often, so this is cool.
In many areas of the world, morays have chiguatera, which means you definitely shouldn't eat them. However, they can be eaten in the Mediterranean, though whether or not you want to eat them is another story. They do taste quite good, but I simply couldn't shake the image of that ghoulish face from my mind, and I personally didn't enjoy dinner too much that night. And so that pretty much concludes our time on Salina. Old anchors, steep hikes, and a scary-looking dinner. But we're not done yet with the Aeolian archipelago, and the best is still yet to come. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to see all our upcoming videos. And as always, a giant thank you to our patrons who quite literally make these episodes possible. I would not be uploading a video every single week if it were not for the support of our amazing patrons making it possible to do so. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, an extra big thank you to these folks who really go above and beyond every single week and every single month to make sure that these videos happen. Until next week.